Imagine a world where money isn't printed, it's promised, where every nation lives on borrowed time and borrowed dollars. From Ghana to Greece, Pakistan to Peru, a single institution decides who sinks and who survives. They call it financial aid, but many call it something else: economic control. So here's the question: is the IMF saving the world or quietly owning it? The International Monetary Fund was born in 1944, in the ashes of World War II. 44 nations met at Bretton Woods dreaming of a stable world economy. They built two great pillars: the World Bank for Development and the IMF to stabilize currencies. At first it sounded noble, a guardian of global stability, but soon it began to look less like a doctor and more like a debt collector. Here's how the IMF system works. When a country faces a crisis, say inflation, unemployment, or a falling currency, the IMF steps in. It lends billions of dollars, but not without conditions. These conditions are called structural adjustment programs. They sound technical, but they mean one thing: austerity. Governments must cut spending, raise taxes, privatize industries, and open markets to foreign investors. In theory, it's economic discipline. In reality, it often feels like economic surrender. Hospitals close, subsidies vanish, prices rise overnight. Yet, debt remains, growing faster than the nations repaying it. One economist once said, "The IMF doesn't fix economies, it reprograms them to obey global capital." Let's look at history. In the 1980s, Latin America fell into what economists now call the lost decade. Dozens of countries took IMF loans, but interest rates soared, debt ballooned, and entire economies collapsed. In Africa, nations like Zambia and Tanzania followed IMF prescriptions, selling state assets to foreign corporations for pennies. In Asia, during the 1997 crisis, IMF programs forced governments to cut spending, while Western investors bought local companies at fire sale prices. One Thai official said, "It felt like a financial invasion wearing a suit." By the 2000s, even European nations like Greece felt the squeeze. The IMF's austerity measures cut pensions, spiked unemployment, and sparked mass protests. Everywhere the pattern repeated: bailout, cuts, chaos, and more debt. Critics call it debt colonialism, because unlike old empires that conquered with armies, the new empire rules with balance sheets. Countries lose not land, but sovereignty. Decisions about taxes, healthcare, or education aren't made in local parliaments. They're approved in Washington, D.C. And the IMF's biggest contributors, the United States and its allies, hold the most voting power. So when the IMF says reform, it often means align with Western markets. Yet the cycle continues. Today, more than 90 countries owe money to the IMF. Many of them will never be able to repay it. Debt becomes not a tool, but a leash. And while nations drown in interest payments, investors profit, and the empire of debt grows stronger. So, what is the IMF really? A rescuer for the desperate, or a puppeteer of nations? Maybe both. Because the truth is, this system wasn't built to end debt. It was built to manage it, to keep the world running, but never free. As one historian wrote, empires used to rule with flags. Now they rule with interest rates. The question is, who's really paying the price? What do you think? Is the IMF a guardian of stability, or the quiet architect of inequality? Let's talk in the comments.